I'm Nicole Auerbach.
Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
This is Danielle Musselman.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart of ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Washington Sports Digital Network.
And Phil, if that one wasn't fun enough, let's play another one here at Bill Vining Arena. I'm Isaac Bourne, joined by Phil Bird, and we'd like to welcome you back to this men's basketball broadcast of the Washita Sports Digital Network. Today, Washita taking on the Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs. This Bulldogs team, last time they played was across the street at Henderson, where they lost 87-78. Meanwhile, Washita coming off a win here at home against Northwestern Oklahoma State. And Phil, looking at both of these teams, you've got two squads that have had decent enough conference seasons. Washita right now having a decent record in conference play, and Southwestern 4-3 in conference play.
Yeah, both teams are 4-3 in conference play, and right now I would give Washita kind of an edge in this one. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They're hot. They've been playing really well. That game against Northwestern Oklahoma, they won by 11. They were kind of tight for a bit of it, but for the last 3/4 of the contest, they never trailed. The Tigers team is really hot. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs lost to Henderson over the Ravine, 87-78 last time. It's going to be interesting to see if that momentum shifts at all.
And the man of the hour for this Tiger team, Hobart Grayson. You see him there coming off yet another impressive performance, 20 points and 12 rebounds against Northwestern on Thursday, hoping to repeat that again. Phil, he's a 6-time Great American Conference Player of the Week winner, and this week making yet another bid for number 7, as he's just been all over the court for the Tigers this season.
Absolutely. Hobart Grayson can do it on defense. He's fast. He can hustle. He's only 6'6". I think we look at Hobart Grayson a lot, and we think he's this huge, ginormous player that can play, make all the other teams really suffer. But he's really not that tall. He's only 6'6". He uses every pound of that build that he has, and really just showing time and again just how impressive he is, the junior from Gonzales, Louisiana. And really, Hobart Grayson has been just the prime subject of what this Tigers team has been. It's been hustle heavy, and it really just has time and again proven what head coach Dennis Nutt wants from this team.
So, like we said, SWOSU winning against Henderson the other day. Losing to Henderson the other day. My bad. Thinking about women's for a second, but Phil, let's talk about this women's basketball matchup earlier today, because it's coming off a matchup where the women's basketball team of Washita trailed by 20 in the second quarter, and then they go on to win in this matchup by 7. Phil, what did we just witness? I just talked to the commentator for the radio for Southwestern Oklahoma State. He says he's been doing commentary for a long time, and he's never seen a game like that before.
No, and I would venture to say quite few people have ever seen a game with a comeback that great. Honestly, 2 points in the fourth quarter from Southwestern Oklahoma State, that could even be Sports Center worthy. And I know we say that jokingly somewhat, but Washita has made it on Sports Center before, and if they're ever going to make it again, I would bet my bottom dollar that this game could easily make it on Sports Center after such an amazing comeback.
And now just a couple seconds away from the starting lineup introductions here, but SWOSU, a team led by many players, not too many players really taking the scoring load other than Tobias Rowland, averaging 15.8 points per game on the season. Talk about him and what you expect to see from him tonight, Phil.
Well, Tobias Rowland is a consistent three-point shooter. 12 of his 15 points, not Tobias Rowland. He's a consistent player. He scored 17 points in that game against Henderson. He plays on both sides of the ball. He had 3 steals as well. He's going to be a handful. Neither of these two teams that we're seeing here are particularly turnover prone. Both have a fairly good turnover to assist ratio. So if Tobias Rowland can get some steals going in this one, that could really hurt the Tigers and be advantageous for the Bulldogs.
Now turning it over to Dr. Casey Modal for the starting lineups for both teams.
Nation, welcome to Bill Vining Arena for this afternoon's Great American Conference Contest, featuring the Bulldogs of Southwestern Oklahoma State University against your Ouachita Tigers. And now introducing the starting lineup for the Southwestern Oklahoma Bulldogs. Freshman guard from Fort Cobb, Oklahoma, number 1, Cray Rogers. Junior guard from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, number 2, Tobias Rowland. Senior guard from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, number 3, MJ Warrior. Junior guard from Lawrenceville, Georgia, number 23, Elijah Williams. And graduate forward from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, number 44, Jalen Todd. The head coach of the Southwestern Bulldogs is Brett Weiberg. The assistant coaches are Dan O'Dowd and Ryan Freeman. And now, Tiger Nation, let me hear you roar! This is the starting lineup for your Ouachita Tigers! Junior guard from Houston, Texas, number 2, PJ Neal. Junior forward from Gonzales, Louisiana, number 5, Hobart Grayson. Senior center from Jonesboro, Louisiana, number 1, Roland Belton. Senior guard from Vivian, Louisiana, number 3, Reggie Martin. And graduate guard from St. Louis, Missouri, number 22, Sean Williams. The head coach of the Ouachita Tigers is Dennis Nutt. The assistant coaches are Levin Thornton and Richard Stringfield. This afternoon's officials are Terry Hill, Chris Heckert, and Kevin Moore.
And once again, there you have it. The 5 out for Coach Nutt, highlighted by Hobart Grayson and Sean Williams, the 2 main scorers for this squad, sitting at number 2 and number 4, respectively, in the GAC in scoring average per game. And head coach Dennis Nutt heading up that roster. Coach Nutt has been the coach of Ouachita for a long time. I have 14 seasons here in Arkadelphia. Meanwhile, looking over at Coach Brett Weiberg for SWOSU. This is his second year, his first stint here at SWOSU.
Absolutely, and we see on the Tigers right along this line here, Reggie Martin, Hobart Grayson, and Sean Williams. Those are who I'd call the big 3 for this team, and they have made the difference in all of these matchups. Sean Williams, fouling out in that last matchup with about 3 minutes left. Reggie Martin really stepping up, and we cannot talk enough about how important he is.
SWOSU starts the game with the ball. Here is MJ Warrior. Inside, and great pass inside to Jalen Todd, and SWOSU's going to hit the board first.
MJ Warrior consistently getting a lot of assists, averaging 5 for the season, kind of playing all around the court. It'll be important for the Tigers to contain him.
Martin to Grayson. Hobart Grayson no good. He had a good look at the rim, but could not get it to go. Cray Rogers. Elijah Williams over Belton. Just under 19 minutes left in the first half. SWOSU leads 2-0. Dump pass down to Todd, and Roland Belton's there with the block. Neal to Williams. Reggie Martin squares up for 3, and that one's no good. SWOSU still leads 2-0. 18:35 left in the first half.
And it looked like Reggie Martin there was ready to really try and get the pace up for the Tigers. Sadly couldn't convert in the end, but you kind of wonder if he had made another pass, if they could have converted there.
Warrior with the drive. Floater is good. Swasu takes a 4-0 lead to start this one. Here's Neal to Belton. Martin looking to get it into Grayson. Hobart Grayson, nice find to Sean Williams, and Washita is going to get on the board with a Sean Williams floater.
And hopefully we get to see the Hobart Grayson to Sean Williams combo time and time again today. They have been electric for the Tigers and important in this 4-game stretch where they have won 4 in a row.
Cray Rogers. And Rowland, no good. Washita quickly the other way, and great steal by Rogers to prevent what would have probably been a highlight play for Reggie Martin.
Cray Rogers, normally a 3-point shooter, as we see there. Another 3. 12 of his 15 points in this last matchup against Henderson State came from beyond the arc. Getting a little 3-and-D action, making the 3 and playing some defense.
Rogers makes it happen on both sides of the court. Williams, and he passes it away. Swasu back towards their end. Elijah Williams, he's going to square up from deep, and he knocks it down. Head coach Dennis Nutt immediately calling a timeout. He wants to talk to his team.
And while deficits like this are not unheard of from the Tigers, they normally take a few minutes to get comfortable on court here. This is definitely not ideal. Start a 9-2 run from this Bulldog team.
Swasu starting off 4 and 6 in this one, and 2 of those shots coming from deep. Meanwhile, Washita 1 for 3 from the field. Not exactly a terrible performance so far. I mean, they've only taken 3 shots. It's just been a really quick start for the Bulldogs. So Washita here just needing a score so that they can slow this Swasu lead before it gets out of hand.
And important to note, Elijah Williams guarding Hobart Grayson here. He's been able to kind of take a large aspect of Grayson's game, and that's his ability to outwork his opponents.
Williams, top of the key to Martin in the corner. Reggie Martin's going to take the 3. That one no good. Rollin Belton's there on the follow. No good, but great tip outside by Grayson. No good. Rollin Belton again on the follow. No good. And Hobart Grayson whistled for the foul. Rollin Belton, 2 key offensive rebounds, just cannot convert on either of them.
And that was crazy. We had 3 offensive rebounds that entire play. I think one might be attributed to Hobart Grayson. He kind of tossed it out to PJ Neal there. But definitely that's going to be important in this matchup. The Tigers have been on a rebounding streak. If they can keep out rebounding their opponents, they can win this one.
Right now, Washita leads the rebound battle 5-2, despite trailing by 7 here. Warrior. Here's Williams with the 3. That one's no good. PJ Neal, he was a big factor in the win on Thursday. Inside to Belton, and that one just goes over his big man.
And the turnovers are definitely going a little bit too consistently here. 3 turnovers here in the first 5 minutes for the Tigers.
And in this first media timeout of the game here at the Washita Sports Digital Network, we want to thank our sponsors at the Hatcher Agency. The Hatcher Agency in Little Rock is the home of outrageous service. The Hatcher Agency gives outrageous service for both commercial and personal lines of insurance, including both property and casualty insurance. Contact the Hatcher Agency today at 501-375-3737 or visit www.hatcheragency.com. Also, congratulations to Greg Hatcher for his 2025 induction into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. Get your outrageous service at the Hatcher Agency. And here at OSDN, we want to thank the Hatcher Agency for their continued sponsorship. As the Tigers step out on the court, that pass being thrown away for a turnover, so they'll be on defense. Head coach Brett Weiberg getting his team ready for what's to come. Phil, what does Washita need to do to get back in this game so it doesn't get out of hand.
Well, you know, it is still very early in this game, and they haven't been doing an awful job. You know, they haven't had one specific player on Southwestern Oklahoma State stand out. All 4 of their 5 players have scored, with the only exception actually being their normal leading scorer in Tobias Rowland. The Tigers really need to just find some spark here.
And MJ Warrior will take it down. Rowland under the basket, and Tobias Rowland. Looks like it hurt you, Phil, because he now is on the board for his first 2 of the game.
Absolutely. That's going to mean every player on this squad, on this Southwestern Oklahoma State squad that is on the court has scored now. Tigers really need to slow them down at least a little bit.
Reggie Martin driving to Sean Williams. Nice cut on the inside, and Sean Williams, he's got 4, and he's the lone scorer in this game for the Tigers. Rowland, he's got Todd over Belton, and that one is good. Good shot there by Jalen Todd, the transfer from Bethel College. Martin to Belton. Rollin Belton, nice find to Grayson, and Hobart Grayson cleans it right up and gets it to go.
In that Grayson perseverance we saw there, he almost lost the ball for a second and got poked away. Kept with it, he kept his elbows out, stayed strong, and he scored.
Rowland, that one stripped by Neal. Recovery by Todd. Hobart Grayson almost with the steal. And the 3 there by Rowland misses everything. Washita running quickly. Neal finds Martin open. Pull up from mid-range is no good. Reggie Martin starting off a little bit slow in this one, 0 for 3 in the game.
And that's rare to see from Martin. He's normally shooting 62% from the field. Normally you don't see him force up shots he doesn't think he can make, but this one seems to be a little bit different.
Reggie Martin this season really coming into his own. You know, typically playing more of a forward role, even at 6'2", has always had the athleticism to do it, but this season has really come into more of a guard position, which has really helped his team.
You saw MJ Warrior go up there. He was trying to get a foul. Good job by the Tigers to not allow him.
Williams there, nice putback, gives the Bulldogs a 15-6 lead. Tigers passing it around. Plethora of substitutions waiting. Sean Williams can't get the 3 to go.
Another rarity there, seeing a missed 3 from Sean Williams. He is 44% from 3 on the season.
Rogers into Todd. Warrior fading. And the foul called on Elijah Williams. And it'll stay Washita. It'll be Washita ball. Substitution for the Tigers coming in. MJ Leslie, Gavin Snyder, and then in the middle, Devin Franklin.
An important substitution there for the Tigers. Their players, Reggie Martin specifically, didn't seem to be very hot, so they decided to give Gavin Snyder a chance here.
Grayson just absolutely swarmed there on the inside, and that's what you have to do to prevent him from scoring down there. Warrior on the inside, can't get it to go. Snyder, what a save!
And that is the hustle you expect to see out of Snyder.
And Franklin looks like he was fouled on the floor. He'll take it out of bounds under the basket. Substitution for the Bulldogs coming in, number 11, Kaysen Gibson, sophomore out of Oklahoma City. And number 5, Tucker Shepard, the freshman out of Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Important to note the Tigers have not scored in 2 minutes now.
And Hobart Grayson got caught taking too many steps now.
And that'll be 4 turnovers for the Tigers. Normally this Bulldog squad is good at forcing turnovers. The Tigers have not been particularly turnover heavy this season. Looks to be changing here today.
And that one off the backboard. Can't get it to go is Cray Rogers. Here's Leslie. Franklin, the fader on the side, and he gets it to go. Devin Franklin, he gets started with 2 here.
6'8" big man using every inch of his size advantage there.
And nice tip in there. Nate Rearman gets it to go. Ouachita still trailing by 9, has yet to make a comeback into this one. Sean Williams, though, hanging in midair, does not get the shot to go, but he'll go to the line for 2.
And that was a acrobatic roll there at the end. Seemed to be kind of painful.
And now we'll take our second media timeout of the contest. Ouachita trails 17-8 to SWOSU here in this one. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I'm attorney Taylor King. For years, you've heard us say we'll be on your side, by your side.
I'm attorney Austin King. At Taylor King Law, we stand by that promise.
And I'm attorney Maggie King Davis. I'm proud to be a part of a team of dedicated professionals who are prepared
to be on your side and by your side when you need us most.
If you've been injured, contact the Taylor King Law Firm.
And we, and more, will be on your side, by your side.
Welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. You see that Sean Williams entry pass giving way to a Devin Franklin little shifty jumper there over Nate Rearman. And that was the last score for the Tigers. They trail 17-8 in this matchup.
And it was interesting, he kind of put it up very quickly. Normally you see a player wait a little bit to watch it, but he was so confident it was going in, he was already running the other way.
Now with teams leaving the timeout, really no player in this one taking much of a spotlight. Every single scorer on Ouachita only has 2 apiece. Then on Southwestern's side, really no noticeable advantages either. Elijah Williams with 4 and Jalen Todd with 4, but those are the 2 leading scorers for the game so far. Williams hoping to enter that 4-point club with 2 makes at the line here. Sean Williams, a transfer from Cal State Bakersfield, and before that, Kansas State University out of Manhattan, Kansas. But Williams, the graduate student out of St. Louis, Missouri, has really been a scoring threat for the Tigers this year, inside and out, and has also really run the offense pretty well.
Absolutely, Sean Williams leading the team in assists so far this season with 3.3 per game. He's also the best free throw shooter on the team, and demonstrating that there with 2 makes.
Here's Gibson with the ball. Tobias Rowland. Williams with the cut. He loses it. And that one, last touched by Sean Williams, will stay in possession of the Bulldogs.
And it should be said, it seems like both teams are somewhat cold right now. SWOSU 1-4. Their last 4 field goals, and they're all 3-pointers.
Rowland, he's got to get a shot up. And MJ Leslie, what a nice save to keep it in possession of for the Tigers.
That's the second heroic save by a Tiger in just 10 minutes.
So far, Hobart Grayson has been contained for the Tigers. He's only got 2. Franklin, pull up. That one's no good. Elijah Williams, he's got 4.
Clear frustration from head coach Dennis Nutt there at the referee. He thought there was a problem with the way he was handling the ball.
And the pass from Williams to Musgrove, not taken. Musgrove is going to watch it go out of bounds. Tiger basketball. Distinct lack of scoring from the field so in the past few minutes. Right now, Ouachita 1 of 4 in their last 4 shots, and SWOSU 1 of 5 in their last 5 shots.
Seems like both teams are feeling the temperature outside. They're very cold.
Leslie with the three is no good. Good hustle by Franklin to keep it in bounds. Hobart Grayson with the three, and that one's no good as well. Tigers go 0 of 2 on that possession.
It's rare you see Hobart Grayson attempt a three. When he does, he normally manages to make them. Unfortunate miss there.
Here's Kaysen Gibson. Pass out to Williams. Musgrove trying to get around Grayson. Falling to the floor, and they say he walked. Back the other way is the ball for Washita.
Great job by Gavin Snyder to stay moving on his feet. Keep any blocking foul from happening there. From this perspective, it looked like it could have been, so great job for him to stay in front of the ball.
Substitutions for both teams back in for the game for SWOSU. MJ Warrior, and then in for the first time today, that's Crew Flowers, the freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas. And nice pass into from Sean Williams into Franklin, and Franklin will get 2 shots at the line because of it.
That's the second personal foul, Southwestern sports team foul and a half. Shooting 2 for Washita, number 21, Devin Franklin.
And Devin Franklin for Washita, a transfer out of Trinity Valley Community College, joining his former teammate MJ Leslie this season after Leslie has played a season for Washita last year. And the junior out of Terrell, Texas, having a solid season for the Tigers, starting many of the games, but then recently taking a bench role for the squad.
Still managing to put up a good number of points, 4 points in this matchup already. That is tied for most on the team.
Here's Warrior. He's guarded by MJ Leslie. Nice high-low pass. Shot clock ticking down. They have to get a shot up. Crew Flowers, active hands. And Todd can't get that one to go. Tigers trail by just 5 with a chance to cut into the lead a little bit more. Williams, pass over to Leslie. Step back in the corner, no good. And a foul called inside the arc. It'll be on the floor. That'll be Franklin. The foul will be on Franklin. That's his first personal foul of the game. And with the media timeout, we will take just a quick break. Washita trails 17-12 with 7:53 left in the first half here on the Washita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Washita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Washita.
It's Washita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita. Washita.
And there you see the beautiful snow here across the campus of Washita Baptist University. Welcome back to the Washita Sports Digital Network. And earlier this week, we were able to capture some drone footage of what has been a beautiful week due to the weather here in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. There you see the famous Cone Bottoms Hall, where the main offices of the campus are. Thank you to Gavin Wallace, OSDN student director, for capturing that footage. And, you know, turning our eyes back to this game, both teams really just not able to find their way so far. SWOSU has been scoreless in the last 3:22. Meanwhile, Washita has only made one of their last 7 shots.
Yeah, neither team particularly productive on the ball, and sadly that can make for some boring basketball sometimes. Hopefully one of these teams gets going.
Roland's three is no good. Back the other way. Here's Sean Williams. Looking for a foul, can't get it. Ball just bobbling around. Somehow SWOSU keeps it. Warrior to the outside. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Crew Flowers. Flowers in disbelief after that call, but nevertheless, it'll maintain SWOSU ball.
Looked like the referee may have missed kick ball foul earlier there. We saw kind of even looked like a rainbow you see in soccer. He kicked it over his head. Definitely unintentional, but.
Warrior top of the key, guarded by Crew Flowers. Roland. Switch onto Franklin. Fader over the big man, and he gets it to go. Difficult shot. Big size disadvantage, but Tobias Roland gets it to go.
The Tigers, while SWOSU seems to be pulling out of this slump, the Tigers cannot seem to do it just yet.
Sean Williams driving, and he loses it. SWOSU running the break, 1-on-2. Here's MJ Warrior. Goes up, and they call that basket interference. Goaltending for Franklin, and it's going to go. Warrior's going to get one more shot at the line.
And you saw Devin Franklin's left hand. He accidentally grabbed the net there, going for the block. He got up pretty high. His head almost hit the backboard there.
You see there the Sean Williams turnover. MJ Warrior back the other way. Just decides to take the layup for himself. And then you just see Devin Franklin almost grab the net for safety. Goes up so high, doesn't want to go down hard. And so just bit of a safety move there just to keep himself from getting injured. Warrior misses the free throw, and Ouachita's got the ball back.
We see Hobart Grayson coming back into the game. Hobart Grayson, normally the highest scorer in this game. He's on this team. My apologies. He's kind of been shut down this game a little bit. Let's see if he can cause a spark for the Tigers.
MJ Leslie to Snyder. Shot clock ticking down. They've got to get a shot up. Hobart Grayson, nice little pickup, and he gets it to go.
And right there, Hobart Grayson can bully you in the paint, but he can also take shots. He pulls up from mid-range there and makes the short the poor defense pay.
Musgrove out to Roland. Here's Warrior. Shot clock ticking down again. SWOSU needs to get a shot up. Musgrove is just going to take it from way out there.
Looked like he even might have gotten tipped a little bit there.
Grayson, he's fouled. They're going to say it's on the floor. And the really tough defense on Hobart Grayson continues. SWOSU not relinquishing anything. You see Musgrove there on that shot. Then Hobart Grayson down the court. And Jalen Todd just puts a body into Hobart Grayson.
And you almost wonder, when they read that scouting report on Hobart Grayson, they just thought, if we take him out of the game, we win. And for now, it seems to be working. Let's see if any of the depth pieces on Ouachita's team can pull out anything.
Snyder on the inside. Nice find to Grayson, and Gavin Snyder, 5'11", goes inside with the Giants and then gets a nice pass to Hobart Grayson, who bails him out.
And right there, Hobart Grayson demonstrating that, no matter how hard you play defense on him, it's going to be a battle to shut him down.
And jump ball, great effort by MJ Leslie there as Tobias Roland goes inside for a drive and just gets shut down by the Ouachita defense. That's exactly what you want to see if you're a coach.
Absolutely. We're seeing the Tigers finally get some momentum back going their way. There wasn't a particularly large deficit, definitely nothing like what we saw earlier in the women's game, but good to see the Tigers getting their footing back here.
Gavin Snyder, the sophomore, taking it down the court. Snyder has really been a great bench piece for this Tiger squad this year. Grayson. It's stripped, and it's going to go off his foot. Hobart Grayson with the turnover, and that is his second of the afternoon.
And it's the 7th for the Tigers. They really are not handling this tough defense well from SWOSU, despite there only being a 5-point deficit here. 7 turnovers is just unheard of.
MJ Warrior, he's taking the ball down the court again for the Bulldogs. Here's Alexander. And Denali Alexander just nearly gets the and one, but can't get it to go. He's got 2 shots at the line, and the senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, will take his first free throws of the afternoon.
And right there, that was a possibility for some more points off turnovers. Despite there being 7 turnovers, SWOSU has 11 points. That may seem like a lot, but you know, each shot's worth 2 points. You'd expect at least 3 more there.
Alexander knocks down the first one. The 6'7" transfer from Connors State College, seeing his first few minutes in this one. And he gets them both to go, and that's a productive trip at the line for him. Gavin Snyder taking the ball down for Ouachita. Snyder find inside to Reggie Martin, and Gavin Snyder, just a player that we've seen today that has just made some great decisions when in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a key part of this Tigers bench. You know, when any player is struggling to get anything moving, put Gavin Snyder in there and he will just work his butt off.
And the 3 is no good by Rogers. Neal out to Williams. Sean Williams, nice look, and he's got it to go. Ouachita now starting to get rolling a little bit after starting off slow in this game.
And that is the Sean Williams we expect to see from beyond the 3-point range.
Rowland right to Hobart Grayson. Grayson running the break. It's 2-on-2. And he gets that one to go. Give him one more at the line after the break.
And Hobart Grayson right there demonstrating time and again just how effective he can be in the paint.
And just what a sequence for the Tigers. You just look at all these replays. You see right there, Gavin Snyder to Grayson on the inside. To Reggie Martin on the inside, and Martin gets that one to go. And then obviously PJ Neal just starting the possession for all of these, and Sean Williams with the 3 there. And then finally the sequence finishing off with Hobart Grayson, the man of the hour, gets the steal, takes it down the court, and then Hobart Grayson right there where he needs to be, puts it in the basket one more. Just what a sequence for the Tigers on a 7-0 run in the past minute so far. Now tying the score up, and Grayson has the chance to give themselves the lead here. So we're going to take just a quick break, and we'll be right back with you for that free throw after this break on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who's an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation, with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Ouachita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Ouachita and its mission, or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
And welcome back to Bill Vining Arena here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Hobart Grayson, before that break, making a fast break and one layup, and now he's got a chance to make that a 3-point play on this free throw here.
It's important to note on that last 3 replays we just saw before that commercial break, we saw each of the big 3, Hobart Grayson, Reggie Martin, and Sean Williams, get on the board there, and those 3 are going to be influential when it comes to really turning this game around, and as they have.
Here is Cray Rogers, and now MJ Warrior with the ball. SWOSU, a little bit of a drought recently. And Rogers runs right through Gavin Snyder, and that's going to be a charge for him. Excuse me, Roland runs right through Rogers. You see there, Gavin Snyder, the sophomore, he's the guy that's been willing to make the sacrifice play. And then right there, just running right through the sophomore.
And when we see Gavin Snyder on the court, you see his blocky build. He's probably one of the most athletic players on the field, on the court here. Truly just demonstrates time and again just how talented he is.
Grayson pulls up, knocks it down. Hobart Grayson, after a slow start, heating up like many would have expected him to. He's got 11 already on 5 for 7 from the field. And that's a timeout. Head coach Brett Weiberg wants to talk to his team. And Phil, this has been a bit of a turnaround. Obviously not as much as we saw in the women's game, but right there you see Hobart Grayson do what he's best at, just score. And right there, pull up over Jalen Todd. But in this matchup, Hobart Grayson starting off slow, but then showing that he's that microwave player that can bring a team back into a game.
Absolutely, and I think we're seeing time and again just how impressive this Tigers team is. I'm grateful that we didn't have to see a turnaround quite as drastic as we saw in the women's game. You know, there wasn't anywhere near a deficit that much, but definitely good to see them push it to a 3-point lead here today, and in no small part due to Sean Williams and Hobart Grayson. Williams with 9 and Grayson with 11 in this one.
All right, the pass into MJ Warrior and SWOSU trailing by 3 now. Alexander over Williams. That one's no good. Tussle for it in the air, but Hobart Grayson comes away with it.
And whenever you try to go band for band with Hobart Grayson, he will beat you every time. His rebounding skills are second to none.
And Phil, his scoring skills just the same. Knocks it down over Todd after getting the rebound over him just a second before. Here's Williams. The shot going for SWOSU. The Tigers have all of their starters in but Rollin Belton. In the place of him is Gavin Snyder. Williams with the 3, and he knocks it down. Sean Williams creating on the outside and Hobart Grayson creating on the inside. All is well for Ouachita offense right now.
What was once a 9-point lead has been extended, now sitting at 9 points, or now 6 points, my apologies, for the Tigers.
Denali Alexander with the response from deep. Standing 6'7", Alexander has really shown that he can create anywhere on the court, and I would be surprised if Coach Brett Weiberg would take him out now. Williams, heat check, and give him 3 more. Sean Williams.
And Sean Williams staring down his opponent, seeing how much momentum the Tigers have here, and he just knocks it down right in his face. Do not test the confidence of Sean Williams.
And Hobart Grayson, another steal. Shot clock is off. Takes it inside. And that's a foul on Roland, and Hobart Grayson's going to have 2 shots at the line.
That's going to be Roland's second. Only has 3 fouls left in the entirety of the second half. Not too worrying, but give him 1 more and he might have to sit a little bit.
Just under 20 seconds to go in the first half, and the man you see on your screen right now is the guy to watch. The junior from Gonzales, Louisiana, has 13. Give him 14 with that make in this game. And since that 0 for 2 start, has made 6 shots and has just had himself an afternoon. And then alongside him, you see maybe standing in the back corner of your screen, that's Sean Williams. He's quietly had himself 15 on 3 threes to go, and the graduate student out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Important to note, too, from Hobart Grayson, 2 steals as well on defense. We love to talk about his offensive achievements, but that man is vicious on defense.
And Alexander, way to keep that towards Washington, way to keep that for SWOSU. Alexander just throws it off the head of Reggie Martin. 6 seconds to go. SWOSU's going to look for the last shot. Ouachita really wants to prevent that here.
It's kind of anticlimactic to watch that there just bounce off his head.
Warrior into Alexander, and he gets that one to go. Ouachita, they'll have a chance at the last shot. Snyder with the heave, no good, off the shot clock. And your score at halftime, Ouachita 36, Southwestern Oklahoma State 30. And now with the replay, we're going to show you just that last sequence for Hobart Grayson. Hobart Grayson, he's got that mid-range ability. He's shown that today. But then also, Sean Williams. He's been the man tonight from deep. There's that step back three there to create some space. And then also, Sean Williams, he said, you know what? I feel pretty good right now. I'm going to take it from way out there, and he sinks that one as well. Sean Williams, what an afternoon for him. But all of this broadcast would not be possible if it weren't for our broadcast crew. Thank you to Chloe Velleman, Priscilla Leverett, Gavin Wallace, Madeline Colzer, Nate Hollis, Christian Krafts, Carter Babb, and Phil Bird sitting right next to me. I'm Isaac Bourne. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with Dr. Ben Sells, the university president, in just a minute here after the break on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. I'm Isaac Bourne, and I'm here joined by University President Dr. Ben Sells. And Dr. Sells, before we go into talking about the university, First of all, last time you and I were in an interview together, I might have gotten to hear about it a little bit. We talked, maybe the mention of Dr. Seuss might have come up, but talking about this women's game that just happened just a couple minutes ago, we saw Ouachita go down by 20 points, and then just what an incredible comeback. Just talk about your emotions. I mean, we saw you getting excited right behind us in the stands.
Well, first of all, I don't mind being called Dr. Seuss. I'm a grandfather of 3, and it's Pop Pop. So, Hop on Pop and Dr. Seuss. So I like that. What an exciting women's game was to be down by 20 points and to come back. I mean, it was a tale of 2 very different halves, and I just think the resilience, the determination. I was telling the coach afterwards that I still remember in 8th grade. Now, this was a long time ago in the 1970s. I was a point guard being down by 20 points, and we came back. And it's why sport is such a laboratory for life. Everything happens in a compressed amount of time. They got down, but they came back, and they hustled, and they persevered. And I was doing my part on the defensive end. I loved seeing the softball ladies down here on the offensive end, so I thought I'd stay down there and just cheer on the defense and call out their names. So what an exciting game, and great effort by our students and the support of the fans who are here.
And you talk about the students, obviously, me being one of them, but also all these basketball players being some of them as well. They moving in a little bit early, but for students that don't have to come back early, you kind of had to push that back a little bit with the snow outside. So talk about that decision, and then also just what you're excited about for the start of this second semester, this winter semester, or the spring semester.
Sure. Well, classes start on Tuesday, and we're set to do that. We were going to open the residence halls on Sunday, and have just encouraged students to come on Monday, except for those who are already here. I think a lot of the interstates and roads are clear. It's just our campus isn't quite ready. We need a little bit more sun, so it's just out of an abundance of caution around campus. But I think we're on track to get started on Tuesday, and I'm excited about the spring semester. I think we have some momentum from the fall semester, including athletics. We had 4 teams win conference championships: women's soccer, women's cross country, volleyball, and football. People have been here much longer than me, and I'm in my 9th year. Don't remember a time when we won 4 conference championships. Both basketball teams have winning records. Swimming's doing well. Wrestling's doing well. And I think why I like to mention that, Isaac, is we're one of the smallest Division II universities in the country. So we're always competing against larger schools with more resources. And frankly, I like beating the bigger universities. I think we have an advantage. We tend to attract bright students, character, work ethic, and maybe to use a wrestling metaphor, we're always wrestling above our weight. But we're looking forward to this semester. A lot of these seniors who are graduating in May were part of that record freshman class who came in fall 21. What a special class that's been, and look forward to these last few weeks with them and then giving them a diploma in May. And at the same time, of course, we're very focused on next year as well.
And, you mentioned those fall sports being so successful with those 4 GAC titles, but I guess I'll ask you for a little fun. What teams this year are you really excited about specifically in this winter sports area, but then also looking forward to spring sports?
Well, my father started life. He was the first one in his family to go to college, and athletics was his passport to go to college. So he's first generation, and he started out life as a coach, and eventually became a college president. So I grew up though in kind of a coach's home, and I like sports, and I like every sports. I like winning. You probably learn more from losing, but it's a lot more fun to win. And as I talked about, it is, I think, a laboratory for life. It's why it's so important. I mean, we have about 534 student athletes here. It's a record number of female student athletes. And then when you add the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, cheer, dance, student workers, marching band, about half the student body in one way or another is involved in sports. I'm encouraged by the momentum of men's and women's basketball. It's a little bit of a difference from where we were last year, so that's exciting. Swimming is ranked high. We've got a couple wrestlers that are nationally ranked. I know the softball and baseball teams are coming back. I think on Monday, depending on the weather, we're going to, for the very first time, have the track teams run on the Hickinbotham family track in field. Maybe 2019 we had 7 students running women's cross country. We have 120 students doing cross country, track, and field, and they've done all that without a track. It's been amazing. I've been impressed by them, and our alumni and friends have rallied. And so this is, other than the University of Arkansas, which has an Olympic quality track, this is going to be the best track in the state of Arkansas. It's going to serve our student athletes, all of our students of our community. So I think we're going to run on it for the first time, though I don't think I'm going to try to jump any hurdles.
I mean, that'd be fun to watch. I think you could.
Well, but my problem is I'm 5'5". I wanted to be an NBA basketball player when I graduated from high school in 1980, but being 5'5" was a limitation.
Well, you say that, but then also going into Gavin Snyder, we've seen him sitting at, a little bit taller, 5'11"-ish. But, talk about turning to this basketball team today. What have you seen from them that just makes you excited for the future?
Well, the intensity. That's why I think I like sports. And I was a point guard. I wasn't the best shooter. I always won the hustle award. I just could out-hustle people most of the time. And I think what we saw in the women, to be down at 20 and to come back, that just took hustle. And the men started out here getting behind, and yet they just got a little bit more intense. And to see that, and so I hope we can hold on to that and get 2 wins here. We both teams won on Thursday, and be a great way to come out of this Christmas break with that kind of momentum for our basketball teams.
And then, Dr. Sells, we're shortening up on our time together, but with a final question, I want to ask you, what is your goal for this spring semester, and how do you want to achieve it for these next couple months?
Now, I think what we do really well here is academic excellence. We have the highest graduation rate in the state, so I want our students to just be prepared for what's next, whether you're graduating or not, to be prepared for what next. We're very committed to our Christian mission, and so we talk about intellectual growth and spiritual growth, and so we want to be serious about those things. I often tell prospective students we try to be serious about things we ought to be serious about, but not take ourselves too seriously. So I don't mind coming to the gym and standing up and cheering and jumping, and let's not take ourselves too seriously, and let's enjoy this moment as well. I really appreciate the work of the Sports Digital Network. Many other presidents tell me they think we've got the best Sports Digital Network in the Great American Conference. So thank you and all the colleagues running the cameras and out there in the truck. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Sells. That means a lot from all of us at the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, and thank you so much for joining us today. And we will be right back in just a couple minutes for some more basketball action here. I'll be joined back with Phil Bird, but thank you, Dr. Sells.
Welcome.
And we'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
At Berry & Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry & Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry & Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
And welcome back to Bill Vining Arena. I'm Isaac Bourne, joined by Phil Bird, and we're just about to start some second half action here between the Ouachita Tigers and the Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs. And Phil, in that first half, one thing that we saw bigger than anything was just the duo of Sean Williams and Hobart Grayson, 15 apiece. What did you see from them?
Absolutely, like you said, 15 apiece. Very, very efficient. Sean Williams, 5 for 6 on field goals. Hobart Grayson, 6 for 8. The steals from Hobart Grayson, the rebounds. We talk about him so often. I feel like we kind of have become desensitized to just how good he is. But Hobart Grayson is just incredible. Other players that just stood out. Gavin Snyder, he may not have had any points, but just such a hustle player, and that's really the thing. The Tigers hustle really well.
And with the start of the second half, SWOSU will get the ball. MJ Warrior driving on Neal. Rowland, nice fake, and he gets the bucket to go. Tobias Rowland is going to start the scoring for the second half, and now SWOSU is within 4. Here's Williams, shot over Rowland. And great effort play by the graduate student. They say it went off his knee, though. It's going to go back the other way. Sean Williams misses the 3, but great recovery to almost be able to get the ball right back.
And there's that hustle that we were talking about a bit earlier. We were talking about it from Gavin Snyder, but Sean Williams demonstrating it there. This entire team just wants everything that they get, they want it so badly, and so when you see a play like that, they're just diving for it every time.
And Williams whistled for the foul. Like you mentioned, Williams with those effort plays, but they said he just dove on it a little too hard there. That'll be Sean Williams' first foul of the game, and that's probably really good to see, as the other day he committed 5 fouls pretty quickly, fouling out. But with his first foul this late in the game, just encouraging.
Absolutely, and that's probably something that head coach Dennis Nutt worked on with him. Being careful with the ball, making sure that they weren't causing too many unintentional fouls, and clearly it seemed to be working here with only one 2 minutes into the second half here.
And over there, you see Tobias Rowland going to his head coach, Brett Weiberg, to discuss something about the game. And Sean Williams just being kind of a jokester over there, running right over his shoulder, trying to hear what he said. Nevertheless, Rowland with the ball. He's guarded by Williams.
You have to love Sean Williams' personality. He doesn't ever take the game too seriously, and he just loves it so much.
Well, as Dr. Ben Sells says, you can take things seriously, but not too seriously. And right there, that's exactly what Sean Williams does. PJ Neal, he's got the ball. He's looking to get it inside. Grayson. Pull up over Williams. No good off the backside. SWOSU back the other way. They've got a chance to tie it or take the lead.
Slow start here for the Tigers. They have not scored yet this half.
Hobart Grayson, he's got the steal. Hanging in midair. Great defense by Elijah Williams to prevent the incredible scorer from really getting anything to go on the break.
You saw as Grayson rolled Madeline Closer there, almost getting rolled over by the 6'6" guard.
Shot clock ticking down. They have to get the shot up, and no good by Cray Rogers. He had that 3 earlier in the game, but since has gone cold from deep. Williams, nice find to Reggie Martin, and Martin can't complete the play. Sean Williams doing everything he can to pick up the assist, just unable to finish it is Martin.
And no one on the team other than Williams making any threes so far this one. Williams has 3. The rest of the team seems cold from beyond the arc.
Here's Elijah Williams. Hobart Grayson, wait to jump on the ball, and they're going to call that one a jump ball. That's going to go towards Ouachita. Great effort by Grayson to jump on it. Almost nearly just got the clean steal, but just in time, SWOSU is able to dive on it as well.
And clear frustration from head coach Dennis Nutt there. Mad that the referee did not call a foul on SWOSU there. He saw some hands going at it between Grayson and the SWOSU forward. Good job by Grayson to make sure it ended up a jump ball there.
It's just difficult for a ref, and you see it all the time. It's very difficult for a ref to tell on those plays that go to the ground whether it is a jump ball or a foul, and a lot of the times loose ball fouls are one of the most difficult fouls to call for referees.
Absolutely, it seems just to be the safer call.
And P.J. Neal goes to the floor. He's going to be fouled by Warrior. MJ Warrior picking up his first foul of the contest.
You saw Neal when he got the ball there a few seconds earlier, kind of heavy on his feet. He did not seem ready for it. Good job by him to recover and get the foul, get a 20-second back on the shot clock here.
Here's Grayson. Martin driving on Rogers. Fade away from the mid-range is all net. Reggie Martin going to put himself back on the board for the second half. He's got 4 in the contest.
And hopefully that will put Martin into, give him some momentum going into this second half. He's been shooting less than he normally does. Only 2 for 6 here tonight.
Warriors no good over Martin. Williams with the rebound. Sean Williams, he's got 4 rebounds tonight. Loses it, dives on the floor. And that's going back the other way. Turnover, Ouachita. Great effort by Elijah Williams there. And Sean Williams slow to get up. Something that you don't like to see from a player that's dealt with numerous injuries over the course of his career.
Looks like it might have just been frustration from Williams. He let that ball be a turnover. Grateful to see no injuries there from the graduate guard.
Absolutely, as now taking it out of bounds for the Bulldogs will be number 2, Tobias Rowland. There you see Elijah Williams, making the effort play earlier. Some deliberation now between coaches and referees. Sean Williams now has to go to the bench. Coming in for him at this moment will be an injury timeout. Looks like Williams might have hit his chin.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be a bit of a bleeding chin there, which, you know, they have to make sure that they look at that, make sure there's no contamination on the court. It's rare we see this in basketball, but good on all the referees for calling this and calling it a timeout here.
You know, Phil, I'm going to make a reference that not many people might get, but this brings me back to Tyler Eulis for the University of Kentucky back in 2015 in that game against the Louisville Cardinals. Eulis falling to the ground, busting his chin open in that one. And, you know, Sean Williams, while a little bit taller than the guard from Kentucky, showing many flashes of him being a star for the Tigers this season. So, you know, while this isn't as heavy of a rivalry as Kentucky-Louisville usually is, this matchup still being played very expansively on the floor because of so many players making these effort plays.
If y'all didn't know, of course, Isaac Bourne does cover mid-major sports extensively, so while that may not be mid-major, he is also from Kentucky. Please excuse his sometimes random knowledge of basketball from 9 years ago.
And that also explains why my slip earlier of calling Jalen Todd Taryn Todd, the guard from Arkansas State, has had a good season as well. But Rowland passes it to Rogers, and we're back up and starting the play again. Shot clock ticking down. Rowland's got to take a 3 over Grayson, and that misses everything. Shot clock violation, and Ouachita gets the ball back. They've got a 4-point lead, just under 16 minutes, and that Just like I expected is the media timeout. Ouachita leads 38-32. We'll be right back with you here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
For years, we've said we'll be on your side, by your side.
We all stand by that promise.
And I'm proud to be a part of a team of attorneys who are prepared
to be on your side and by your side.
So if you've been injured,
we'll be on your side, by your side.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Return to play here at Bill Vining Arena. Ouachita leads 38-34 with 15:49 left in the game. Before that media timeout, Sean Williams having to go to the bench with a bleeding chin, but he's back out on the court now. That SWOSU press giving Ouachita a little bit of troubles, but they're able to get it across the court. Here's PJ Neal. And passes tips. Nice behind the back pass to Williams. Sean Williams gets the up and under shot to go, and he's got one more free throw after.
And I just want to say great effort there by Devin Franklin. While it was at one point sort of a muffed pass there, it got tipped. Great find there by Devin Franklin, able to find the cutting Williams. And, you know, when Sean Williams is in the paint there, he's more athletic than almost anyone.
Williams unable to make that a three-point play, but nevertheless, Ouachita sitting at a 6-point lead now. SWOSU looking to get something off of this possession. Here's Warrior driving right.
SWOSU is scoreless in the last 3 minutes and 24 seconds here.
Shot clock ticking down. Warrior, he's got a corner shot and no good by Cray Rogers. Great find by MJ Warrior, though.
That's going to put Cray Rogers at 1 for 5 on the night. All of his shots coming from beyond the three-point line.
That'll be a foul drawn by Sean Williams. Williams now will make it an out-of-bounds play. Still out of the bonus up to this point. Pass into Franklin. Martin pull up from inside the arc, no good. Devin Franklin battling for it and just nearly missing that pull over there, and glad to see it. Devin Franklin had to make almost a good play there to keep himself from getting injured. Could have saved it, but decided, you know what, I think my body's a little bit more important here.
And right there, Devin Franklin demonstrating, you know, the hustle. He may not be a starter, but he is doing amazing off the bench.
Martin on the drive. That one's blocked. Great block there for Redman, and gets it, and now it's going back the other way.
And that's only the first block of the game for anyone on the Southwestern squad.
Nate Rearman has not played too many minutes in this one for the Bulldogs, but in his time out there, he has made an impact so far. He's got 2 rebounds, and that's his first block of the contest. Rowland, top of the key. Shot clock ticking down. MJ Warrior's got to get a shot up, and nice scoop and score to the rack is MJ Warrior.
And no player is particularly standing out for Southwestern Oklahoma State currently, but if anyone is, it's MJ Warrior. 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals to go along with his 4 points. He may not be putting as much up there, but certainly making an impact.
Looked like Grayson wanted a foul on that shot. Bit of an errant shot otherwise, but no good. Rowland guarded by Leslie. Nice find to Rareman. Somehow SWOSU maintains possession. And Rogers draws the foul on the play. He's got 2 shots at the line. And great drive inside by Cray Rogers. And the freshman out of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma, is going to take his first 2 shots from the charity stripe today.
And I said this earlier, but it's rare we see Rogers go in the arc to try and score. He scored 12 of his 15 points in that game against Henderson State from beyond the arc. But today he's been somewhat cold, only making 1 of his 5 shots from back there.
Substitution for SWOSU coming in for the Bulldogs, number 22, Jalen Todd. And then still sitting next to the scorer's table, most likely for the shooter, Cray Rogers, is number 5, freshman Tucker Shepard. Rogers' free throw is up and good. And now coming in for him is Shepard. PJ Neal taking it down the court. Tigers holding on to a slim 2-point lead now. Franklin passes tipped. MJ Leslie able to take it. Sean Williams knocks it down from deep. He's got 4 threes tonight, and he's only missed 1 of his 6.
And you can see there Williams.
2 of his 6, excuse me.
You can see there Williams. He's like, I meant to do that. Tip pass to Devin Franklin. It turned out for him.
And Warrior gets it to go, and now he's starting to heat up for the Bulldogs. Sean Williams, pull up, blocked. Great recovery by Tobias Rowland there to prevent Sean Williams' mid-range shot from the elbow to go.
And what we saw there, a block from out in distance, is a very difficult shot to block. Great job by Rowland there.
Warrior, the drive. He's going to step back out, 10 seconds on the shot clock, foul away from the ball. They're going to call that one on Sean Williams.
Williams gesturing with his arms. It looks like him and Warrior were both kind of giving elbow checks to each other. Williams is just the one that got caught, seeming a little frustrated there.
And substitution for Ouachita, coming in is Gavin Snyder and Crew Flowers, and coming out is PJ Neal and Sean Williams. Coach Nutt obviously did not like what he saw from his graduate student and pulled him for just a little bit. That one out of bounds on Grayson, going to stay on this end of the court. Just over 12 minutes remaining in this contest. Ouachita holding on to a 3-point lead. Pass into Rareman. And Todd gets that one to go. Jalen Todd, the graduate student out of Oklahoma City. He got that basket to go, and now Ouachita only leading by 1. Devin Franklin squares up from deep, and with a high arc on the shot, swishes it from 3-point range.
Devin Franklin, one of the 3 tallest players on this squad, just demonstrating why he can play out in space as well.
Tigers running on the break. Leslie to Franklin. Franklin down low, hanging in midair, and almost nearly had himself a nice highlight play to go with it, but he'll take 2 shots at the line after the break. For now, though, Ouachita holding on to a 46-42 lead at the media timeout. We'll be right back with you here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
And welcome back to Bill Vining Arena. Here's the replay on that last foul as Devin Franklin going up with it. Can't get it to go, but hanging in midair. Just incredible athleticism from the 6'8" forward. You don't typically see that from a guy standing 6'8", do you, Phil?
No, absolutely not. And I think what we're seeing from Franklin here is another demonstration, and we've talked about this before, how deep this team is. Devin Franklin coming off the bench, he had that starting role earlier in the season. He's adjusted to a different one, but he is surely making an impact. A block, 7 points, and 2 rebounds for only 14 minutes. That's certainly impressive in this one.
And now with play resuming, Franklin's going to have 2 shots from the free throw line. So far in this one, he's 2 for 2 from there, hoping to improve on those numbers. On the season, up to this point, Devin Franklin is 57% from the free throw stripe. Looking to improve upon that with 2 makes here. First one is up and good. He's a perfect 3 for 3 so far in this game. We talked about him earlier, transferring from Trinity Valley Community College, and he's been a impressive and exciting addition to this roster.
Absolutely, definitely bringing a lot of energy off the bench here today.
Bulldogs passing it around. MJ Warrior guarded by MJ Leslie. Roland on Snyder, pull up, no good. Franklin on the rebound.
Great job there by Snyder. Even though there was a slight size mismatch, recognizing the lockdown defense there from the 5'11" guard.
And good heads-up play by Todd there to bat out of bounds, and Audrey Winfrey almost the result of an errant pass.
Good to see her recover there, though. I know she had quite the game earlier. She does not want to get back on the court again already.
And Snyder loses it. It's going back the other way. Swasu looks to cut into this 6-point deficit just a little bit here as Elijah Williams passes it in. MJ Warrior taking it down the court. He's had himself a productive afternoon. He's got 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in this matchup. Taking it down the court, give him 10 and possibly 11. MJ Warrior. Looks like he heard what I said and wanted to add to those numbers.
MJ Warrior just playing amazing this game. Probably the biggest standout overall. He's 5 for 11 in shooting, but particularly defensively, he has 3 steals, and now adding to it that offensive play, giving himself a nice resume here today.
At this point in the game, Sean Williams continues to sit, even though he's got 20 points in this matchup. Hobart Grayson has gone quiet since that first half. Ouachita looking for a spark here. Grayson now, guarded by Shepard. He's going to pull up. And just like I said, he went quiet. He went right back and yelled in my face. That's a mid-range shot for Hobart Grayson.
The thing about Grayson, you see time and again, he goes through these spurts. When he's quiet, it's only a matter of time until he gets loud again.
And nice backdoor cut that time by Cray Rogers, and he's met with no opposition at the cup. Franklin over to Leslie. Hobart Grayson is going to take his favorite shot. That time misses everything, but great effort by Crew Flowers, and it's Ouachita basketball.
Great effort by the freshman. He's getting more play here today than he does on average. He has not gotten in the last few games for the Tigers, but definitely making the minutes he's getting count.
Referee's deliberating a little bit during this stoppage of play. Ouachita leads by 3. Referees look like they're going to go to the monitor here to see if that ball initially hit the baseline on that first bounce. So as they take a break, one key thing to look for in this replay as you see it go forth You see Hobart Grayson take the shot, and they're looking to see right here if it hit out of bounds or not. That's a tough one to look for. Still, though, does not diminish the effort by Crew Flowers. A shot barely missing whether or not it hit the baseline. If this play were to go SWOSU's way, they would get the ball back and a chance to tie it up with a 3. Meanwhile, if it stayed in Ouachitá's possession, they'd have a chance to make this a 2-possession game. During this break, though, we want to thank our sponsor, Taylor King Law, for being a continued sponsor for us at the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Looks like referees continuing to decide on their decision here. You see Grayson take the shot over Williams. Miss everything. Also, most likely looking at some shot clock as well to decide where to stop it. Referees have made their decision. And it's going to stay Ouachita basketball here. 20 seconds on the shot clock. And Snyder passes it in to Devin Franklin. Phil, give us some insight on what they were looking for just a second ago.
Well, they were definitely trying to see where that ball landed off the shot. You know, we at Ouachita offer a lot of angles here, but maybe not every angle. There was no definitive proof to overturn it. So, of course, they kept the call the way it originally was.
Franklin there, nice putback. And Devin Franklin starting to heat up a little bit in this game. He's got himself 11. Here's Williams backing down Crew Flowers. And he gets that one off the glass and in. This is a tight matchup. We're looking for ourselves a fun finish here at Bill Vining Arena. Whistle blown. The referees want to dry off the court just a little bit. That's going to allow Sean Williams to come in for Crew Flowers.
Williams has been sitting on the bench for a while. He's not particularly in foul trouble, only 2 on the match, but given his foul out in the last matchup, better safe than sorry here today.
Snyder pass into Sean Williams. Hobart Grayson. Out to Leslie. Step back 3. Give him 3. MJ Leslie. That's his first 3 of the contest.
Great job there by Grayson recognizing the double team. Rogers had kind of let off Leslie, and Leslie made him pay there.
Pass bobbled to Rogers. Devin Franklin there. And Franklin gets the rebound, but then he's immediately fouled. I could even say that could have possibly been a clear path foul, but nevertheless, it's a common foul. We're going to take a quick break, though, and following that, it'll be Tiger basketball. They lead 55-49 here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
Tigers lead 55-49 coming out of the under 8 media timeout. And the player to watch tonight has been Sean Williams. 20 points for the Tigers to go with 4 rebounds and a steal. The graduate student out of St. Louis, Missouri has really been the player to watch. Sitting at 4th in the GAC in scoring. He can do it all.
And while through much of this run it's been Hobart Grayson, Sean Williams right there demonstrating again why he was a D1 basketball player at one point.
And Williams, as I talk about him, give him 3 more. He's got 23 in this contest. He just can't be stopped. And SWOSU is going to need to find a stop for him, it looks like, if they want to win this one. Shepard with the deep 3. That one's no good. Goes right back to MJ Warrior. And that time, though, Warrior gets it to Cray Rogers, and Cray Rogers is going to have that response for Sean Williams.
And that will make the Bulldogs 2 for 12 in their last 12 three-point attempts here today.
Snyder, he's got an open 3. That one's no good. Gavin Snyder has been pretty productive from deep this season. Just that time for his first 3 of the game, can't get it to go. Williams whistled on the charge. Back the other way for Ouachita. Substitution for them now. PJ Neal coming in for Devin Franklin.
That's his 4th personal foul, Southwestern 16 foul.
6:45 left in this game. Still plenty of time for SWOSU to come back into it, but Hobart Grayson now playing play initiator for Ouachita. He's going to take it inside, makes the tough basket over Elijah Williams. And that there, folks, is why Hobart Grayson has been such an elusive player for the Tigers this season.
When you have both players, Sean Williams and Hobart Grayson, playing at a high level, Williams with 23 in this one and Grayson with 19 now, they're almost unstoppable as a duo.
Grayson finds Leslie open in the corner, and that one rolls off the side of the rim. Almost made it there. Tobias Rowland. 10 seconds on the shot clock. SWOSU needing a shot, and Jalen Todd is going to draw the foul down low. They're going to call that on Snyder. That's his first foul of the contest. Substitution for Ouachita, MJ Leslie coming in for him, Reggie Martin. And Todd just nearly sent that out of bounds. It's going to stay in, though. Rogers loses it. Tigers on the break. Gavin Snyder to Sean Williams. Hanging in midair, can't get it to go. Sean Williams going to the line for 2 there, but that almost was a highlight play after what has been an afternoon of many highlight plays for Sean Williams.
And if you see this camera angle here, Sean Williams nearly slides into the camera run by camerawoman Madeline Colzer. Very close call there. She seems to be putting herself on the line here for the good of the network.
Shout out to Madeline. She's had herself a dangerous afternoon at that camera, but she still is staying behind there and just doing a great job. Williams makes the first free throw. He's now got 24 in this contest. Second one is up and good. Sean Williams continues to be productive from the stripe today. He's only got 1 miss from there. Timeout called by Brett Weiberg. That'll be a full timeout. And so for that, we're going to take a quick break. Ouachita gaining a little bit more of a lead here. They lead 62-54 with 5:01 left in the game. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back to Arkadelphia, Arkansas, here at Bill Vining Arena, here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Head coach Brett Weiberg calling a timeout to talk to his team. Ouachita now, though, standing on an 8-point lead. Weiberg in his second season at Southwestern Oklahoma State. This is his 13th as a college basketball head coach, but Weiberg before this spending some time at Medill High School in Oklahoma, where he had himself an incredible stint in Oklahoma high school basketball. Players walking back out onto the court. An 8-point lead, definitely not safe for the Tigers, but Phil, how does SWOSU make sure that it isn't a death blow for them?
Well, you know, looking at Southwestern Oklahoma State, they're getting into some foul trouble with some of their guards and forwards out here. They need to make sure that they're taking care of the ball as well. 12 turnovers here in this one. Stark contrast to that first half where the Tigers had more turnovers, so they definitely need to take care of the ball a little better and calm down on some of these fouls.
Sean Williams whistled for the kick ball, so it'll stay with SWOSU. Pass in by MJ Warrior. Rowlands guarded by Snyder. And Snyder is going to be whistled for the foul. The sophomore visibly unhappy with the call, as he thought that he guarded him face up. But nevertheless, Gavin Snyder committing his second foul of the game.
Gavin Snyder playing a considerable amount of time this game. He's at 20 minutes, significantly more than he's used to, but I'm sure he's loving the time he gets to spend out there proving himself.
Rowland, that one's tapped by Reggie Martin. Tigers running the break, but that one's stolen by Elijah Williams. Slow to get up is Tobias Rowland, and that's going to be an injury timeout. Rowland taking a hard fall there. You see Martin with the block, and Hobart Grayson's pass getting blocked, but Grayson running right through Tobias Rowland. Prayers for him to make sure that he is all right, but as he walks to the sideline right in front of us, glad to see that he's okay.
Looks to be grabbing his left arm a little bit, maybe a little bit of irritation there, but happy to see him up and good here.
One thing you always say, you know, Ouachita fans, you want to win, but not at the cost of another player's injury. And Rowland doing well. Glad to see Grayson with the rebound, though. And he's only got 7. Bit of a low rebound number for Hobart Grayson. Still hoping to get that double-double, though, as he sits on 19 points in this contest.
Friendly reminder, Hobart Grayson is averaging about 11.8 rebounds per game on the season. So while 7 may seem like a lot of rebounds for Hobart Grayson, it's less than he's used to.
Grayson step back 3, no good, rebounded by Williams. Tigers are going to reset the offense. Sean Williams just continues to make those effort plays, and really at this point, the Tigers don't need too much scoring. They just need to tick this clock out with 3.5 left to go.
And it seems that they're doing that. They're being smart with the shots that they're taking. They're not doing too much on offense. They're just allowing the game to come naturally, and it seems to be working for them.
PJ Neal, nice take inside. Next stoppage of play will send us to a break. But for now, we're close to the final 3 minutes of this game. Warrior, nice find to Rogers in the corner. No good. He really wanted that one. They're going to call that one out on Elijah Williams, though. With that, we're going to take another break. Ouachita sitting on a 10-point lead as you watch that Sean Williams find to a PJ Neal drive. We'll be right back with you here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law. And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. During that break, saw some more footage of the beautiful snow falling outside the arena right now. And another thing falling today has been the shots for Ouachita Baptist. Sitting at a cool 23 for 47 from the field, 48.9%. And then also Sean Williams, 7 for 10 from the field with 22 points. And that man, Coach Dennis Nutt, is the reason behind it, has drawn up some incredible plays for his graduate guard. And now Ouachita sits on a 10-point lead, hoping to maintain it as this game inches to a close. Warrior with the steal, and now SWOSU's got the ball back.
Great job of the Tigers to slow down that play. They're making SWOSU play at their pace.
That's another kicked ball, Sean Williams. That might be his third kicked ball of the game. And it's going to stay with SWOSU.
I'm just happy those kick balls do not count as fouls, or else we might see some more foul trouble from Sean Williams.
And that'll be a quick timeout for SWOSU. We're going to stay here, though. Really not much that's happened since the last break, but just going into this game a little bit more. Phil, what do you have?
Well, looking at this matchup, Sean Williams has been the standout player this game. We've talked about it a little bit before. Hobart Grayson on this stretch where they have a 4-game winning streak. The Tigers have relied heavily on Grayson's scoring and rebounding abilities. But Sean, and so it could have been easy for Sean Williams to slip to the back of your mind here. But seeing Sean Williams just absolutely demolish his opponents here today. 22 points, 5 rebounds in 31 minutes. He's truly demonstrating why he was a D1 basketball player. We've talked about that before. He played at Kansas State and USC Bakersfield.
And play resumes here. Pass in for SWOSU. Here's MJ Warrior. He's guarded at the top of the key by Martin. And Warrior gets that one to go. MJ Warrior continues to be the player that does not want to see his team lose this game. He's got 13. Tigers passing it around. Sean Williams inside to Grayson, and Hobart Grayson. No good on the shot, but he's got 2 shots at the line. A make here for him will put him at 20, and 2 makes will put him at 21. Grayson has had an incredible game so far today, but by his standards, it's just about average. He's got 19 points, 7 rebounds. The main thing to look for, though, is those 4 steals. He's been in the passing lanes, been disrupting passes, and has himself another great case for GAC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I say this a lot. I think Ouachita fans are a bit spoiled when it comes to basketball. We see so many amazing performances from players like Hobart Grayson and Sean Williams that it can feel like, a 20-point game is just another walk in the park. And I want to emphasize how impressive it is that Hobart Grayson has been able to consistently put up these numbers.
the transfer from Holmes Community College, has really made himself known on the court at Bill Vining Arena, as now Swasu needs to score if they want to be back into this one. A 10-point deficit, definitely not insurmountable, but definitely as well hard to overcome.
Absolutely, as we see a foul there on Sean Williams. That's going to be his third of the match. Not too worrying considering there's only 2 minutes left, but still something to be watching there. Don't want him to foul out again.
Warrior on the first of the 1-and-1 rolls in for him.
And on a day when the rest of his squad has been lacking, MJ Warrior showing no sign of stopping or problems here, able to get now 15, 6, 5, and 4.
Warrior also making a good case for Defensive Player of the Week. He's got 4 steals in this game alongside 6 rebounds, and he's their main play initiator at the point guard. PJ Neal, he's got the ball. And that's going to be a foul called on Tobias Rowland. Tigers are in the bonus.
Number 2, Tobias Rowland. That is his third personal foul. Southwestern's 19 foul.
So Neal is going to get 1-and-1 from the free throw stripe.
That's going to be the 17th foul on the game for SWOSU. They've been struggling this half to keep their hands clean.
Neal's first shot is up and good. And the Tigers inch closer to another win as this season for them started off not well in GAC play, but since that loss against Southern Arkansas here at Bill Vining Arena, things have been completely different.
If they win here, it would move them to 5-3 in conference play, 10-4 on the season.
And I don't know if you credit Grayson with the rebound there, but if so, that's his 8th. And with Hobart Grayson, I almost like to play it with Oscar Shibwe with the rebound counter. But with that, we're going to take just a quick break before this final minute of action here in Bill Vining Arena. So we'll be right back on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Play resuming in just a minute here from Bill Vining Arena. 1:08 left in the contest. And SWOSU's chances of making a comeback here on the road dwindling with every second as PJ Neal takes it out of bounds for the Tigers.
One thing to note for SWOSU, they have held Ouachita to a considerably less scoring outing than they are used to. Ouachita averaging 87.6 per game, only having 68 here today with a minute left.
Williams to Grayson, and Grayson unable to get it to go, but he's going to get 2 more from the line. Hobart Grayson not able to get those shots to go like he usually does, but he's made up for it by a productive day from the free throw line.
In what has felt like somewhat of an off day for Hobart Grayson, weirdly enough, he has an opportunity to go above his scoring average here at the line. Rebounding may be down a little bit, but generally Hobart Grayson not actually with a statistically worse day than he's used to.
some deliberation now between players and coaches, and some substitutions in for SWOSU. Coming in, number 20, Spencer Musgrove, and also number 12, Denali Alexander.
As we see walking off there, Elijah Williams with a bit of a limp. Prayers that he is okay and able to play the rest of this schedule for SWOSU.
Elijah Williams has been an incredible effort player today for the Bulldogs, and so him being off the court, especially at this time, just gives the Bulldogs less and less of a chance, especially in these final 51.6 seconds. Grayson squares up for one more free throw. He made his last one. And that one is no good. Hobart Grayson only is able to go 1 for 2 there. So he's only able to tie himself for leading all scorers. Him and Sean Williams have 22 apiece right now.
That is his third personal foul. Marshall's 18 foul and a half.
Gavin Snyder responsible for the foul there, and now you see MJ Warrior stepping up to the free throw stripe. He's 3 for 4 from there today, and with that first one he makes it, so he'll earn himself a second one from the line.
And MJ Warrior, in a day when the rest of his team struggling to make any production, having himself a nice outing here. Bit of a consolation prize following what will soon likely be a loss.
Grayson swarmed, but he's able to just run the ball down the court to Sean Williams, and he puts it down!
And Sean Williams demonstrating that absolute monster athleticism. Also, Hobart Grayson demonstrating a little bit of humility there, giving the Sean Williams an edge on the leader board with points.
And with this game going further and further away from the Bulldogs, you'd have to think that part of this loss has to go to the absence of second leading scorer Eli Aldebaran. Aldebaran has been out for the past 3 games, and the senior out of Victorville, California, has been sorely missed by the team out of Weatherford, Oklahoma. Timeout called. This will be a 30-second timeout, so we're going to stay here. And I mean, going back to that Sean Williams dunk, I mean, this Tiger team rolling right now at just the right time. But Phil, how does one team come back 9 points in 27 seconds, if that's even a possibility?
Well, I think I've seen it happen once, and it was with Tracy McGrady in the NBA playing for the Orlando Magic a few years ago. He scored, how many was it? He was like 13 in 9 seconds or something insane like that. But I don't see Tracy McGrady on the bench here for Southwestern Oklahoma State, so it's likely it will not happen. But, you know, you never know. We may see something crazy.
While the Bulldogs don't have a Tracy McGrady, they surely have an MJ Warrior, and he himself tonight has had himself a good performance. That's 19 points from the field, alongside 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and like we talked about, those 4 steals, making him a big name on the court. Warrior, though, noticeably absent from the lineup right now, electing to sit on the bench. Tigers get it in. If they can get it across half court, that's a kick ball by Alexander. But if the Tigers can get it across half court, that's pretty much wraps on this one.
Absolutely, and I wonder how many kickball violations we've seen in this matchup. It's more than I've seen in any game in my commentating career here.
Hobart Grayson, just like a quarterback, able to just throw an absolute dot down the court to Sean Williams, and now Williams is going to have himself a chance to give himself 25 or 26 points in this one. What an outing for the graduate guard.
And if basketball doesn't work out, I'm sure Hobart Grayson and Sean Williams will have a bright future as a quarterback wide receiver pair playing for the other great Ouachita football team.
Williams with the shot is good, but like you said, I mean, Hobart Grayson rivaling the likes of Eli Livingston out there, and with Livingston graduating, you know, Hobart Grayson, he's got another year of eligibility. Why not put him under center?
I wouldn't mind.
Roland, 15 seconds left on the clock, and he's just going to throw that one out of bounds. Tigers sitting on an 11-point lead. They won their last matchup by 11, so it would be ironic if they could win this one by 11 as well. Grayson, he's got Martin down low. Reggie Martin, he wanted 2 more. He said, let me have some more points to add on to this one.
And looking at this time and again, Hobart Grayson just proving that sentiment true. He really should be a quarterback here.
And there you go, folks. Ouachita taking another home win by the score of 25-62, 75-62, and finishing off with that Reggie Martin layup there. The Tigers now move to an impressive record of 10-4 on the season, 5-3 in conference play. And Phil, right now it seems like the Tigers cannot be stopped in conference play. They have won, count them, 5 games in a row now. And now with a road trip to Oklahoma on the horizon next week, it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep that going.
Absolutely. Looking at the way that the Tigers have played over this stretch, Hobart Grayson, Sean Williams, and Reggie Martin have been integral. Reggie Martin having a bit of an off day today, but of course Devin Franklin stepping up and filling in some space. 14 points for him in this matchup, 5 rebounds, and a block to go with it as well. Really the Tigers demonstrating time and again just how talented they are way down the depth chart. You know, you have your big 3, but you know, anyone on the Tigers can really have a big night on any given night.
And that big night going to Sean Williams. 8 for 11 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, 26 points to go along with it, and 5 rebounds. He was everywhere on the court and in the right places at the right time. He finishes with 26 alongside Hobart Grayson, who finishes with a cool 22 points and 9 rebounds. Just business as usual for the 6'6" guard. And Phil, going on the road now, the Tigers have 2 very contested matchups. First, they go to Shawnee to take on Oklahoma Baptist on Thursday, and then they've got Southern Nazarene and Bethany on Saturday. They've got 2 home wins under their belt now, sitting on a 5-game win streak. What is going to be the key for them next week?
Well, you know, the Tigers statistically have been one of the best teams in the GAC. Looking at it time and again, they shoot better than almost every other team, maybe even every other team after this one in the GAC. Defensively, they are able to lock down their opponents. They do not give up too many turnovers. Now in the first half here, it was looking like they might give up a few more than they're used to, but just looking at the way that they have played today, really, if they just keep this momentum going, I mean, they're on a 5-game winning streak, and they don't look to be slowing down anytime soon. We really could be looking at a historic season for Dennis Nutt's Tigers.
And the man that is behind all of that has to be Hobart Grayson and Sean Williams, 2 players that have had themselves some great nights. In just a moment, we'll be joined by head coach Dennis Nutt to talk about his team's performance today, but just what an impressive outing. And I feel like I keep saying that for a team that is just on a roll. But now welcoming head coach Dennis Nutt to the chair. Coach Nutt, congrats on the win again today. Obviously, you look at the stat sheet from this matchup, and it's your 2 main guys, Sean and Hobart. Just talk about them and their performances today.
Well, we didn't get off to a good start, that's for sure. We came out really lackadaisical, I thought, energy-wise. Kind of let those guys get going. I didn't like that part of it. But we kind of settled in about midway through the first half and kind of started playing our game. You know, Hobart wasn't at his best, but he still, you know, puts up pretty good numbers. It's amazing. He's got a way of doing that. But, hey, we'll take the win. We just got to keep moving on, keep building on his success so far.
And, Coach, another guy that I really was impressed with tonight, Devin Franklin, finished with 14 points, but also just making some effort plays, not afraid to put his body on the line a lot of the times. Talk about him and his improvement this year.
Yeah, you know, Devin's that kind of player. He's very active, a great athlete, can run the floor. Energy is kind of what we needed there. That first group was a little bit lackluster at best, and he came in, kind of sparked us a little bit. But I think he got a chance to be a good player. That's kind of what he can do for our team, and we need him to do that on a consistent basis.
And then also, Reggie not having a great night, but then you have guys that are able to pick up the slack for him. Your top two guys obviously doing that, but then also you see production just when it comes to effort from everybody else. Just talk about how your team is able to pick up where you guys are usually lack off sometimes.
Well, I think the smaller lineup, when PJ and Gavin are on the floor together, we're really good defensively. And that's kind of the difference in the game. We kind of tend to go small late in the game, and kind of gives us a chance to switch a little bit more and kind of guard those guys on the perimeter. Warriors is a good player. I thought we did a pretty good job. Kind of bailed them out late in the game there, but overall, pretty good defensive effort. We'll keep building on it.
And then, Coach, I also want to talk about just the effort from both teams on the floor, because a lot of the times this game we expected it to kind of be a little bit high scoring, especially with your team being such good three-point shooters. But this game started out as a kind of a grinded out game where a lot of the times the effort plays were being made with players diving to the floor. So how does it feel to be able to have a team that not just is able to make those effort plays, but they maintain their health pretty well throughout this game as well?
Yeah, well, that's winning basketball. You got to do the little thing that won't show up in this stat sheet right here. Dive on the floor, get a deflection, do the little things, blocking out. A lot of things that go into this game, and it's a fast-paced game, and there's a lot of things that's going on. But the guys are buying in, and we're getting better. We're not where we need to be, but obviously we're getting better.
And then, Coach, now going to what's coming up. You've got a road trip next week to Shawnee and then Bethany, so two good teams in the GAC. How do you rebound from these two home wins? And last time you went to Oklahoma, results didn't happen as well as you would want them to. So how do you improve off that and make sure that you come home with 2 wins?
Well, we feel obviously we're a different team than we were early. Didn't play very well. It was kind of a new – actually, that was our first road game, real road game when we went to Oklahoma early. So I feel like we're a different team. But you're right. We played the first 3 places, Oklahoma Baptist, Southern Az, and then Henderson, all 3 on the road. So we got a tough little stretch. That's why this last 3rd game at home was very important. We needed to win it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for coming on with us after every single game and just giving us some great insight. But for now, this has been the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Isaac Bourne, joined by Phil Bird. Have a great night. God bless, and be safe out there.